Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today officially starts sowing seeds for the 2026 garden. Now I know a lot of people might be thinking it's kind of early, but if you are in zone 7 and up, late summer, early fall is the perfect time to start your garden next year. Um, and what I mean by that is things like flowers that take a long time to germinate, herbs are good to start now so that you can get a head start, because before you know it, you will be starting your seed come the month of January. So what I'm gonna do to start the season off is start my herbs. One of the goals that I have this coming season for herbs is that I want to be able to preserve approximately 16 to 24 ounces of herb per type. So this year I did a smaller herb garden. I did a few 5-gallon pots, and I did a few 12-inch containers, and I did approximately 2 to 3 plants per herb, with the exception of dill. I did, let's see, 7 dill plants. That's the only exception. So I did about that many per herb, and the herbs I did were mint, dill, parsley. I did thyme, oregano, and rosemary. Those are the ones that I preserved most of, and I also did sage. So from those herbs, I only got approximately 4 ounces per herb. So I wanted to increase my herb garden this year to get that 16 to 24 ounce. So to that, I am going to heavily increase the amount per plant that I'm starting this year, and I'm also adding some more herbs into the garden. So the first step to starting your herb garden, I'm starting everything from seed this year. I bought a lot of plants this year, but the only thing I started from seed was parsley. I started, parsley, I think is the only one that I started from seed this year. Parsley, chamomile, but I didn't get to harvest any chamomile. Parsley and chamomile were the only ones that I started from seed. I bought the rest plants. So this year I'm starting my complete herb garden from seed. So the first step to being successful in starting your garden is to write down what you want to add to your garden. So I did a list of all the herbs that I know I want to put in my garden, and it's extensive. And all of these herbs except for hyssop and lime balm, I've already grown before from a plant and tasted. So those are the only two like new to me herbs that I'm adding. So first step is getting a list of all the herbs that you want to put in your garden. Next is setting out a schedule and a number of plants. So for this August, I'm starting peppermint, lemon balm, hyssop, lime balm, rosemary, thyme. I'm doing English thyme and orange thyme, oregano, sage, and parsley. So I'm starting these things in August because they take the longest to germinate. All of these, except for the parsley, need light to germinate. And I also am going to put them in through a stratification period, which is after I sow all of these seeds, I'm going to put the whole tray in the freezer for 24 to 48 hours. Then I'm going to take it out and put it under the grow light. I have found that this type of cold stratification, rather than put it in the refrigerator for a month, it's quick and it works really well. I did it for my lavender and my lavender germinated within 10 days, and everybody knows how finicky lavender is to germinate. So I'm going to do this with all of the herbs that I sow. So the next information that I got about all my herbs is how long it takes to harvest. One of the reasons why I'm starting so early is because I want bigger plants, bigger mature plants, so that I can start having my first harvest right immediately in spring. From the season, like I calculated over, when I started with bigger plants, I got approximately, and this is going to be accounting the harvest to come, hopefully within the next few weeks, got approximately 6 cuts from all of my plants this season, starting from spring. So if I wanted to get approximately that much while increasing my garden, I tracked that I would need to start as early as possible to get the biggest plants. And so all of these herbs are harvested between 70 and 100, and I believe the biggest one is 200 days. So starting early will give me the most harvest and the biggest plants. So that's more information you want to get about your flowers and your herbs when you're starting your garden. Next, you want to get what you're going to plant your seeds in. So this year, I decided that for majority of all of my seedlings, I am going to do soil blocks. I want the easiest, or what I think the easiest, most stress-free method for me, because I'm trying to get into a routine so I just don't not do gardening this year. These are just these are parsley seeds that I soaked overnight. This is the best way to start parsley, is to soak them overnight in warm water and soak them right away. I don't want to do too much potting up because I know that that is going to slow me down, and I'm going to feel like I don't want to garden at all. So I decided I'm going to do majority of soil blocks this year. My soil block mix is cocoa coir. I'm also doing worm castings, vermiculite, and perlite. That's all I put in there. Some people add bone meal and blood meal, but I'm not going to do that because all of these seeds are growing indoors for a long time, and that stuff stinks inside when you water it. So I don't recommend you add anything like blood meal or bone meal. I recommend you use a water-soluble fertilizer when it's time to fertilize, and I'll go over what I use. I'm not partial to either organic or inorganic. I use what is available and what is necessary for my situation. So when that time comes, it could be an organic one, it could be an inorganic one, as long as the seedlings get fertilized. Okay, so next it's understanding what your seedling needs. So as I said, all of the seedlings that I set, the seeds that I said I was going to sow today, need light to germinate. They're small seeds. Most herb seeds are small seeds. So all of these are going to be surface sown. And that's the thing I like about soil blocks. There's a small little divot. I don't know if you can see. Let me zoom in. So for soil blocks, there's a small little divot in there where you can put your seeds. And I like that so that the seed doesn't get lost in there. And it's just like one concentrated place to put it. So you want to surface sow all of your seeds, and the only seed that is going to be covered like fully dark is the parsley seed, because parsley needs darkness to germinate. So this is oregano seeds, and I wanted to show you how small some of these seeds can be. So this is oregano seeds. So yeah, that's like almost like sand grain small. So this is what you want to, why you want to surface sow these seeds. And even before you sow any of your seeds, write your labels out. They're not, a lot of these are very tiny seedlings when they emerge, and they all look the same. You're not going to remember, especially with soil blocking, you're not going to remember where you put your seedlings. So I recommend label them ahead of time and just placing them in between rows. So how I'm going to sow this seedling tray is, I'm going to do 5 soil blocks per seed type. There's going to be multiple seeds per block, just because these seeds are so small, I can't do one at a time. And a few of these seeds are pelleted, but I can't do one seed at a time. So even if, you know, like you get 3 or 4 seedlings, like herbs do grow well clumped together. The exception is rosemary. I'm only going to do 2 rosemary seeds per soil block, and when they come up, I'm going to thin, because rosemary does not like to compete. It likes to be grown alone in its own place. So I'm going to do 5 rows per, and sage you only need 2 seeds per. So probably should have, I don't want to mess my soil blocks up because these are still pretty wet, but I'm going to see if I can slip it under. Nope, can't do that either. So I'll figure it out. But yeah, I have all of my labels ready to go, and I'm going to seed 5 rows. These are 20 soil blocks per section. So I'm going to seed 5 per 5 per seed, and if anything of that number changes, I'll let you know when I come back after I sow seeds. Okay, everything is labeled. I ended up doing 10 soil blocks per seed so that I didn't waste any soil blocks. It's okay to have extra herbs to give away or to interplant. I am going to be doing a lot of interplanting this year, so it might work out that I have all these extra herbs. But I ended up doing 10 blocks per variety. And sorry for the background, I live in the city. Excuse that. Okay. I ended up doing 10 blocks per variety. And last but not least, I covered each of the varieties that need light to germinate. I covered them with vermiculite, because vermiculite still lets light through. And then I covered the parsley up with more soil. So I'm going to put these in the freezer for 24 to 48 hours, and then I'll do a little short probably to show you how I put them under the light. And then from there, I'll give progress updates of my herbs growing in soil blocks. I'll also show you in September how I sow the herbs that is on those lists, because those include alliums, chives, chives. Yeah. And it also includes a flower, which is flower slash herb. So until then, thank you for watching and happy growing.